Chat, how do I say this? We are about to learn from Professor Lando at Ligma University 3 of my favorite words. We're going to have to learn the difference. Of course, there is a difference between all 3, but I love them all either way. Let's watch.
Hello, students. My name is Professor Lando. I'm an educator here at the
Is that a Yoshikage Kira tie? That's actually really sick.
esteemed Ligma University. Now, whether it's furries or femboys, or twinks to twunks, I teach about the important subjects. And in today's lecture, we're taking a look at a slightly older topic and a question.
Chat, we love older women. I don't know. Chat, we got to lock in and listen. Let's watch.
What exactly is the difference between a MILF and a hag? Now, I assume most people...
I am mad. Okay, so I think this is my guess. I think hag is like the first stage, right? Because hag is like when you hit 30. When I think of a MILF, I'm picking up like hints of age of 35 to 45-ish, around there, before they turn into a cougar, like somewhere right there, right? We're looking at that age range, but also, chat, there is a prerequisite that you cannot escape. You do, in fact, have to have a child to be a MILF. It is. Either that, you're just an older woman. I like to. Anyways, the first word is mom or mother, right? You can't just not be a mother without having a child. Don't blame me, blame God. That's how that works, right? That's exactly how that works.
People are familiar with what a MILF is, but in case you're unfamiliar, I think it's a good time for a quick refresher. I noticed that my old video on the subject has some terribly decent audio. Not exactly sure what happened there.
Damn.
But it being 4 years since then anyways, I thought it would be the perfect time to revisit the subject.
Wait, what was that video called?
But it being 4 years since then.
Why? The real reason why... I mean, older women are just better, dude. I don't know what to tell you. I do like older women. I'm a chat. You can see it.
Anyways, I thought it would be the perfect time to revisit the subject with some additions and updates on the material. MILF is a noun, an acronym for a mother I'd like to frick. Now, although the term was circulating the internet for a while, MILF was popularized in the cultural zeitgeist when it appeared in the 1999 film American Pie.
M-I-L-F. Mom, I'd like to
And it's important to note that this is not to be confused with another acronym for the word MILF being the Moro-Islamic Liberation Front.
I wasn't ready for that one, huh? I don't know. Man, I love Fauna's another one. Man, I love Vincent Tome. Man, I love them all.
In the Philippines, whose primary goal was to get an autonomous region for the Moro people. So again, that is
Moro
not
from Dragon Ball, right?
We are talking about in regards to today's class.
Okay, cool.
Although there might be MILFs in MILF, as in members of MILF may include people considered MILFs. They are...
Chad, I'm not going to lie. Chad, I'm not going to lie to you, and I got to give it to you straight. When an older woman like this is involved, honestly, I would probably just join anything at that point. Am I wrong? Chat, I would give my life to the IBS if they had MILFs, right?
In fact, very separate things. So that is just a textbook definition of what a MILF is, but there is an important question we need to answer. Does a MILF have to literally be a mother? But before we answer that...
I think it has to, right? Like, here's the thing, right? It's the fact that it has the word mother in it, right? Not mommy, mother, right? If it had the word mommy, I think there's a debate to be had that you wouldn't really need it, right? Like, a guy could be daddy and it's like someone your age and doesn't even have a kid, right? Same thing with mommy, right? It doesn't have to be a literal mother or someone older than you. It's just someone you have, someone who has that motherly figure in your opinion, right? But this one specifically has the word mother in it. Same thing with DILF, right? So the prerequisite is in the name. That's just how I feel about it, though.
Question. You need to know that as diligent students of our esteemed university, you all spend countless hours online studying very cultured materials. But while researching,
This is very true. I've been watching these kinds of content creators for a bit, not a long time, but a bit, right? You have your Cha-Cha, there's others, but San. I'm trying to think of other ones. Obviously, the mothers of the girls that you watch, like Picora Mama, these ones that have their own models, Narissa's mom, and for some reason, all these VTubers have their moms on camera. I don't really know, not really complaining, but this is a subject that I've been thoroughly investigating.
those sensitive topics, you have to delve into the unknown and often dangerous places on the internet. Luckily, we can thank our partner, CyberGhost VPN, for sponsoring this video and giving us a tool to navigate the internet.
Chat, there's an
with
ad.
peace of mind.
Chat, what do we do when there's
Whether
an
you're
ad?
researching femboys or furries for a homework assignment, or studying the ethical
is it
considerations of
femboys?
MILFs or DILFs for a class project, you want to
Your-
protect your privacy from shady websites and trackers. And most importantly, stay anonymous online. I'm currently doing research for a revamped lecture on Rule 34, and I'm spending a lot of time online in unfamiliar territories to make sure I cover things I missed.
You do
the first
have to
time
go
around.
to different places
so
to
I'm
get this
personally using CyberGhost VPN
get these
to give me a
research
better
going.
peace of mind. Simply select one of their over 100 locations before you browse to encrypt and reroute all your traffic through their secure servers. This way, no one will even know about your online activity or what you're studying.
Good, they don't need to
CyberGhost
know about
also
that.
unlocks geo-restricted games and content from over 40 streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney+.
Does that actually work? Last time I
You can
tried
even
it, it
get
never
better
actually
deals
worked.
online by simply changing your virtual location. Best part is, CyberGhost works on all devices with up to 7 at once. So you'll be covered whether
Wow.
you're locked up in your goon cave or on the move, or even share with family and friends. With our link in the description,
I like to
you
refer
get
to it as
their
my
best
office, not the
deal
goon
ever,
cave. Come on,
just
relax, dude.
$2.03 a month, plus 4
Ooh.
months for free, which is 84% off.
There's even a 45-day money-back guarantee.
So you have nothing to
Very
lose.
cool.
Thank you again to CyberGhost for giving our class this amazing tool in protecting our privacy. Okay, so does a MILF have to literally be a mother? The answer? No, a MILF does not
Really?
have to literally be a mother, because I believe that the most important aspect of being a MILF is a character's MILFy energy. Now, how do we
I'm not entirely sold on that, though. That's the question. If there's not the prerequisite of having a child, there definitely has to be an age restriction, though. Then, and like I said, that's like 35 to 45-ish range. I don't know, man. Because then you just might as well just call her a hag or mommy or something like that, right? Then you wouldn't really call her this. Like, there's more words in this day and age than calling her a MILF, and it just being just sort of someone who hasn't had a kid yet, right?
define MILFy energy? Well, let's take a look at some examples. So here we have Danny Phantom's mom, Dexter's mom, and Nicole Watterson from the wonderful world of Gumball. 3 undeniably MILFy characters.
But they have kids.
Here we have a nurturing but protective demeanor across all these characters. They are all undeniably pretty thick, and the commonality
thickness
here
is needed.
the MILFy hair. There is a distinct
the short hair?
curvy bob that most MILFy characters have, but as you can see, Nicole Watterson does not have hair, so we can say that the MILF bob is a strong indicator of MILFiness, but not necessarily a prerequisite to be a MILF. So let's take a look at a MILF that is not technically or explicitly a mother. Like Aunt May, played by actress Marissa Tomei in the Marvel Spider-Man movies. Although not technically Peter Parker's mother, Aunt May displays some maternal qualities as a caretaker. But again, not technically a mother. And undoubtedly, Marissa Tomei is clearly a MILF, especially in this.
Yeah, I guess. But then wouldn't she just be hopefully a cougar? No, I think Cougar's way too old for. Is way older than that though. I don't know. I don't even know how old. How old was Aunt May, anyways? I don't know. I guess that's a question we have to answer before any of this stuff.
Movie. Alternatively, we can take a look at a character that is technically a mother, but not a MILF. Like the Pokemon Kangaskhan, which shows that actual parenthood is not a prime indicator nor necessity
crazy.
of MILFhood. But ultimately, the character does need to have some sort of motherliness about her, whether it's her demeanor.
That's usually what I think about when I'm trying to discuss things like this is Pokemon.
Her figure, her hair, or some combination of all those.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so now the question is, where do hags fit in all this? Well, when it comes to a discussion
30-year-olds,
of
like
older
early
women
30s.
in online spaces, older characters, hags might often be confused for a MILF, but I'm here to clarify that they are actually very different and separate categories, almost opposites. So what exactly is a hag? A hag is a word to describe an ugly older woman. Now this is a...
Was he about to laugh? Wait, did he just make himself laugh?
Hag is a word to describe an ugly older
When he
woman.
says "and
Now,
ugly,"
this
he
is
sounds like he's
a
laughing.
perfect example of practical sentiment
Yeah.
going against the literal definition of a word, since people often use this term,
Right, hag.
hag, as a way to indicate their attraction to the character. Take a look at this example. This is
I love Marina Sencho. You know what's really funny too? I didn't realize you probably shouldn't say the word hag in front of a woman IRL. I said this. How do I say this, chat? I might as well just tell you guys the story. I was at work and I was sitting next to a coworker because we were in the break room after work. I was sitting next to a coworker, and you know, there's my friend. One of my friends, she's a girl, so some other girls in the warehouse come around and say hi to her. We were talking about something, I forgot what, and I said, I told her that she was almost a hag because she's almost 30. And I said, "Oh, you're almost a hag," and the girl next to me, who was older than, I think she was in her 40s, she's like, "A hag? What?" And I was like, "Yeah, when you're older than 30, you're a hag." And she got like, "What? I'm not a hag." And I said, No. It's a term of endearment nowadays. And I had to tell her, "Listen, hags are in demand." And then she just started laughing. Thank God, because I was hoping I didn't offend her. And then that's when I realized I probably shouldn't call a woman a hag IRL. Found that one out the hard way. Ask me how. Well, I just told you how, but still.
Is Hosho Marine, a pirate-themed
Marine
VTuber.
Marine
Now, the
Sencho.
core dynamic of Marine's hagdom is that she is an older woman in her 30s
Yeah,
who
she's 30.
behaves like someone much younger, often attempting to demonstrate cutesy behavior in the way that they talk or what they do. And importantly, this fact is teased by others and by her viewers for the dichotomy of the behavior with her age. But most importantly, this obvious attempt to be considered younger is seen as cute or attractive to people who like hags. This goes against the formal definition of a hag being simply an old, ugly woman.
Right.
The opposite is true, actually. It's the fact that she is seen as too old that makes her behavior and thus classification as a hag an attractive quality. This can be summarized with one word: shame. Now,
Shame?
a key marker
Wait, what?
of hagdom is some sort of embarrassment, or again, shame. Whether that manifests through attempts to obfuscate their age or simply by trying to act younger, a hag is seen as performative in this nature.
I never even thought about this at all, because when I think about a hag, I just think of an older woman, right? Like, there's no other quality other than just hitting 30. It's kind of like, it's just boom, you hit 30, boom, hag.
And also of note, hags in practice are not actually that ugly or that old.
Definitely
this is
not.
a key trait of hags.
Hags are
Contextually,
fine.
they're compared to very extreme expectations of youthfulness, often to a comical level. Marine, being in her 30s, is not that old in general, but she is compared to idols in their late teens or early 20s. In a tongue
Yeah, there's something about the internet where when people hit 30, you might as well just, like, disconnect your computer, turn off your Ethernet cable, and just never return. That seems to be like the sentiment on the internet for everything. It's just like as soon as you hit 30, never log on the internet again. I don't know why.
Kind of way, of course. This element can be demonstrated by a popular meme in regards to hags.
Also, he's a really good drawer, right?
With enough power, you can refire even.
Oh my god. I know this meme. I think it came from Limbus Company. Was it Limbus Company or was it Reverse 1999? I think it's a Limbus. Oh god. I've said this so many times. And I know what this is supposed to be in reference to. Chat, with enough power, you can refire even a dying star. Oh my god.
A dying star.
Yeah.
In this meme format.
Oh, he shows it. Okay. Yep, there it is, chat. There it is. Okay.
A character, a hag, is surrounded by
I don't know this
fertility
VTuber.
aid supplements, implying that said character is far beyond the peak fertile age that demarks youthfulness. This also
made him
implies
laugh.
a lustfulness towards the hag and is coupled with that, again, embarrassment element, meant to bring attention to the supposed oldness of the character. So now, if we haven't been clear, what exactly is that difference between
Chat, who was that VTuber? Some of y'all will know. Who was that, actually?
MILFs
I don't know who that
and
was in that
hags?
picture.
So, when it comes to delineating
There it is. There she is. There she is. Yeah, her. This girl. This is the girl from Limbus Company, right? I think it's Limbus Company. I don't know, but there's a Limbus Company short-haired, dark-haired tomboy, and she's a hag. She started that
MILFs
hag
and
meme.
hags, there is a key difference. MILFs are older in appearance and mature in their demeanor, and are actually desired for their older qualities, whereas hags are not actually that old and are desired for their attempts, seemingly so, to appear youthful as opposed to mature. If they are actually old and acted like an old person, they wouldn't really be desired as a hag. Now, the term MILF is often used for both fictional characters and real people, while
It's true.
hag, at least recent times, has almost exclusively been used to describe fictional characters. So hopefully,
And VTubers. Specifically VTubers. For some reason, this is huge in the VTuber community. Everybody loves a hag, right? Just look at you guys know, like Dizzy. You know, there are a lot of older women who stream. You know, Cleo, Tenma Miami. A lot of them are in Phase Connect. I don't know why. Sakana wants to lock down the hag market, and he's doing a pretty good job. I will say that. Yeah, I mean, he also has the big sister market with you, but that's more of a personal thing with me.
that's given you a good framework to navigate MILFs and hags online. But as the saying goes, the best things often come in threes. That's not the only thing that's gonna, whatever. Cougars. Now, a cougar is an older woman that has a particular interest in being with a markedly younger man romantically.
Jesus.
Now, cougars have kind of fallen off nowadays, often mocked by the more traditional MILF in media, but we can't ignore their place in the conversation about older women. Now, whereas MILFs and even hags,
I think the problem with cougar and why that fell off was because of the rise of hag, right? Like in media, a lot of them are like in their 30s and 40s, and then they go for the younger guys. And instead of just calling them a hag and calling them a cougar, it's just been replaced with hags. So that's probably why this has fallen off, right? Because when I think of a cougar, I think of someone who's like 45 to like 60. There's not really a lot of characters like that, right?
are more about our interest in the woman. Cougars,
I swear I know who this
about
is.
the woman's interest outwardly. And though it's important for a cougar to be somewhat attractive in a conventional sense, there isn't much emphasis placed on their physical appearance since it's more about their behavior
Okay.
as opposed to our attraction to the cougars themselves. Do
Sure.
you have an older woman in your life? Perhaps you can now go to your mother and say, Mom, Professor Lando told me that you're a MILF.
No, I can't say that to her. That's not going to happen.
Okay, students, that's going to be it for class today. But remember, your homework is to click the link in the description to check out the special discount that CyberGhost VPN is offering to our class. For only $2.03 a month, you can take a huge step in protecting your online privacy. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next lecture.
Thank God. That was going to be...
Special thanks to my patrons and the following students
Oh.
in detention. Gene on
In detention.
Boy, Morgan.
Thank God, because I thought his homework was going to be something else. And I'd rather not do whatever he said in the beginning. Chat. This was an enlightening discussion. This was a very back and forth discussion because we had a little bit of tension there, not really agreeing with definitions set by, the internet, I guess you would say. But this is a very educational, very enlightening video. Chat, let me know how you guys feel. Comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you gamers in the next one. Bye.